Hi Aquarius, and welcome not only to your birthday season but to your February overly thematic reading. This is for Aquarius Sun, Moon, Rising, Midheaven, and or Venus. However, if you find yourself on this video, you are here for a reason, and so I do hope that you hear all that you need at this time. Okay, and definitely do subscribe before you leave. Let's get into it. I'm kind of letting spirit guide, and just lead the way this month, and I have a sense that you guys are also doing that. And so I started shuffling, but I decided to turn on the camera and just flow through what comes up as we get through it. It might not be a full 9-card spread as I typically do, okay, because I'm just going to stop when spirit stops giving me messages to give to you guys. But what came out coming into the beginning of February, that first week, as far as energies, you have the Two of Wands that came up with the Chariot card and the Seven of Coins. I definitely feel like you guys are orchestrating something. You're trying to make a move towards something or away from something. And that something in the month of February, I do feel is heavily about your relationships and who you have invested in, as far as the relationships, who has invested in you, right? This is all about one-on-one partnerships when you talk about the 7th house. So it can be marriages, it can be contracts, right? If you signed with some type of organization or some company, and that is the relationship that you have been investing in as far as like time is concerned, to make a name and have status, a reputation. So that's some of the things that you may have been building toward. And so you might be trying to make a move toward or away from that, as far as promoting yourself up in the company, or finding something that is more in alignment with you if you feel like this is something that just at this point in your life does not make sense, right? But if it's not that, then of course it can be a marriage or any other type of contractual relationship, a monogamous relationship where you are dating somebody. Is it somebody that you see yourself being with long term? I feel like you guys are heavily considering that, and you're kind of torn between wanting to remain where you are and work on what it is that you have, or wanting to go in a different direction and start anew and build towards some promise. Because you guys are not the type to stay in a situation if you know that 7 years from now it won't necessarily be around. I don't know how I can articulate that, how I'm getting it, but you guys are very practical to be an air sign, right? So it has to make complete sense for you to be involved in it. So you have to be seeing some sort of return, some sort of promise. It has to really be in alignment with what your true morals are, what your futuristic vision is, because you guys are highly innovative. I can't think of the planet Saturn. There you go, is your ruling planet, which is all about not doing things in excess, not wasting your time, as well dealing with restrictions, what your limitations are, if you have any, or if you are even consciously aware of what they are or not, and where you kind of overdo it. You know what I'm saying? So that is your ruling planet, and that is something that I definitely feel like you guys are heavily looking at. What's coming out is the Judgment card and the Death card in reverse came out atop that, okay? So again, you guys, as I was saying, you're reviewing at this time the past 7 weeks, the past 7 months, the past 7 years of your life, and you're cycling through that and seeing if there was anything that you have overlooked. You're retracing your steps. That's what I'm hearing here. But there's something that you haven't quite been able to let go of, right? Something that is inevitable. Something within the cycle that you've been through. Maybe this is a particular person like that you are centered on. You do have the Chariot card here, which is a very heavy Cancerian type of energy. So you can be dealing with a Cancer. male or female, or this is somebody that has really heavy Cancer placements. And when I say that, then it's just like a Venus in Cancer, or their rising or moon sign is in Cancer, right? Their 7th house may be in Cancer, which speaks on relationships, and that's what it is that you are looking for, or what it is that you might feel that you are missing, that you need in your life. Somebody with that energy of a person that has a 7th house in Cancer. Okay, you have to remember about the Cancerian archetype. It's all about the home and safety and security. You know what I'm saying? Needing to have that. So if you feel like you don't, then that is something that you're going to aspire towards acquiring in the month of February here with this 2 of Wands. Or if it's something that you feel like has slipped in between your fingers, which I'm also getting here with the 2 of Wands energy. Like you had it and you lost it somewhere, and now it's like you want that back, whatever that is for you guys. Here with this Death card, you can be dealing with a Scorpio. 2 of Swords came out in reverse, and then you have the Devil card that is upright. So you can't turn back time. Okay, you can't take back anything that you may have said here, because the 2 of Swords is also about, like, the Swords energy is all about the throat chakra, which speaks about communication. Okay, and being able to, as I was saying, articulate what your thoughts are in a very diplomatic manner. You know, having also a sense of humor, needing to work on the fact that you might be a little dry, things might be a little boring, you know, or you just come off as a very unenthusiastic type of person. So that is something that is missing, right, with the air energy. Not stimulating your mind enough, or maybe you're just around people or involving yourself in things that is not mentally stimulating, and that is how you are being of disservice to yourself and really those in your external environment. Okay, you can't fold when it comes to peer pressure. I feel like some of you guys are at a point in your life where you are mature enough, you're mature enough to know better. Really, to know what is good for you or not. It doesn't matter if you're the only person that is doing the right thing. Eventually other people are going to see your consistency, right, your tenaciousness, and wanting to be obedient to yourself and to whoever, you know, you pray to, if you believe in God or if you believe in gods, right, or if you just have a sense of spirituality and you know that there is something bigger than you out there that is also kind of like orchestrating, as I'm getting it here, the events that are unfolding in your life, right? I feel like you guys are also coming to understand that too. Like, there aren't any coincidences, but you have to understand that you have to be that example, and it's only going to come through you practicing what you preach, right? And not giving in just because you're going to be like the outcast of the group. And it's learning how to deal with the periods of loneliness that I also get that you guys are going through, because I felt that last night. Like, I had a very beautiful day. I didn't really do much yesterday, but I did find that once I made it back to the house, I was still feeling like pretty lonely. And so the way that I consoled myself was I got on FaceTime with my sister. I figured out what she was doing for her evening, if it would be too much for me to, you know, go and spend time with her and her family, and I did that. And lo and behold, when I got back home, she sent me a message saying how much better she felt, and she didn't have like a reason for it or, you know, anything like that, and that she just enjoyed herself with me as I did her. I always enjoy spending my time with her and her family. I call her kids my kids, you know. I am the part-time mom, but her family is my family. I'm like the sister wife in a sense, you know. They're not in a polygamous or open marriage or anything like that, but they're just very welcoming. And so it was much needed for me to, instead of escaping from my loneliness or wanting to numb it with alcohol or drugs, you know, behaving in other tempestuous manners, right? Engaging in other things that are sinful in nature, right? Like sex is normal, but masturbation and masturbating to pornography isn't necessarily normal, especially if you do it in excess. Again, you have to think about Saturn and restricting yourself, right? Having some self-control. This is also teeter-tottering when it comes to your convictions and your beliefs, right? Your thought patterns. So instead of being trapped in your mind and doing things or thinking things that are more negative, it's instead finding things that can uplift your spirits, that are more positive. You know, turn to God when you don't know what to do, when you feel unsure, when you feel like you're about to, I want to say speak out of turn, so however that resonates for you, and or acting out of control. Is thinking in terms of that, and then immersing yourself in things again that are more positive. Let's see if there's anything else. Okay, one more card flip, so I'll take this as the outcome card. You guys have the 10 of Cups. Look at that. What a way to end this spread, which is really positive. You have the Hermit card at the bottom of the deck as well, for those that are wondering. So you might have a Virgo coming into your life, somebody that can kind of ground you from you kind of having your head in the clouds a little bit, or from that can give you a break from this tension and this stress that you feel at the top with the 2 of Wands and the 7 of Coins, and needing to go in one of 2 directions that is presented before you, right? You have 2 paths. So you can go down the beaten road, or you can take the untrodden path, and you can forge a new way of life and way of doing things and way of treating people, if this is just all about like how you decide to treat the people that you are involved with, right? But this is also just pure enlightenment, Kundalini awakening here, spiritual enlightenment here, okay? This is just defining happiness and knowing what it will take for you to be your happiest in life, right? Who you see going through the trials and tribulations with you, right? Because there is going to be some trial and error. And I am getting a sense of that at the top of this spread here. There are going to be mistakes. Is there forgiveness afforded not only to you but to those in your external environment when these mistakes come up? You know what I mean? Like, you only have one life to live, and that's coming up heavy with these 2 cards. Don't worry about what other people are going to think, because that's going to keep you here no matter what decision you make, whether you stay in what it is that you're doing and where it is that you are working and how you are building upon that, or if you separate. Somebody may look good for you on the outside, but do they feel good for you on the inside? You're going to come to that decision, and you are going to find your happiness, okay? And or come to a reunion, if not delve deeper in a relationship and become more committed and be more satisfied with the choice that you've made and the partner that you have. Or again, this can be on a more financial level, because the 10 does speak about the 10th house, which is all about status. More oftentimes than not, it's about like your work and your career. So it can go either way. Again, this can also be something that you're working on internally, just what you've been conflicted with and battling with on the inside, as far as your 2nd house, material possessions, as far as your dual nature, the mind, the body, as far as, again, partnerships are concerned, and just how you feel about the way that it's going on the inside, right? So you're working through this energy. You do have the 10 of Cups. You do have enlightenment. You have an answer on the way. You just have to ask, and you have to believe in it when you receive it, right? Also, just embrace where you are and what it is that you have in this moment, because there's nothing wrong with what is, even if it doesn't feel as good as you hope it would in every moment, right? So just embrace it and be present with the decisions that you make, whatever it is that you come to decide on by the end of February. Okay, that's what I have for you guys. As far as your chakras are concerned, your root chakra, your sacral chakra, your heart chakra, and your throat chakra, definitely work on those this month. But if this reading did resonate for you, do give me a thumbs up. Share this with your friends and family. Subscribe for more, as there will always be more. And if you would like to book a reading with me, I will leave my email in the description box as well as right here for you. And yeah, happy birthday.